what we want to be looking at is all products. It's different from what I was looking at. Oh, I can see I'm on the wrong website. That's .com. So we want to go James Hardy, New Zealand. So don't go to that one, my mistake. Go to this one with jameshardy.co.nz. And see up here it's got builders and it's got specifiers. It doesn't really matter which one we go to. We want to go to, let's go back to builders. Technical literature is what you're wanting. It's looking different to what I was looking at last night. Here we go. Products. So you need to find your way down to products and find your way to cladding. So it could look at various different ways. Right. So this is getting us on the details. Here I was thinking I would sew together. It's going to go on here. Yeah, this is the page I want. So jameshardy.co.nz /products/exterior cladding. Then you go down, and I'll just go through the one of them on linear weatherboards. And it's going to, then you're going to go to technical literature and technical specification and installation. It's not looking good. Yeah, 1 of 52, this is sounding more like it. Unitech internet's not as fast as mine. Just waiting for that to download. But this is where you go. So you actually download the information and you get this whole brochure here. And then if you have a look, this is telling you all the guff about the material itself, the underlay, how you're going to put it on. So it's all really useful information for you that you might want to go back to. But the actual details are here on page 14. So get ourselves down to and you can see all the before page 14 you're getting all the accessories. It's going to show you all the different sort of stuff about this. And these are the kind of information that if you were designing a building with Hardy's, then you would go here. So this is where you actually find it. Okay, so go there and look. Here we've got foundation detail and Zafite detail, figure 1, page 15. So when you go to page 15, it's giving you like that detail there. And this is for direct fix, you'll note. And this is where what I was saying to you before, if you look up there on the top, that because it's a bevel back weatherboard, it is already spaced away from the foundation. So that's where you're going to find that information. And then if you want to be looking at windowsill detailing, then you're going to look at it in this place here. So it's got one side is direct fix and the other side is the timber cavity batten. So go there to find the details. Everyone clear about how to find their way? Okay. I think that's enough clues about that. Two-dimensional drawings, not 3D ones. Notes. Make sure you show building paper, that you show flashing tape, that you show an air seal. So this is the window one. You should be sort of all primed for it from your section B, but the top or the bottom of the wall is something that you probably haven't drawn before, but you have had information about it during lectures, and I'm just pointing you specifically at places to go. Okay. Shall we go back to, there's a general question on sizing here, so I might just have to flip back to changing figures again here. So, there's a general question about how you work out spans when you've got a different wind zone from what the table is calculated for. So,
for the drawing in examination, do you use pen or pencil to draw it?
Already been asked that one, I don't mind. I don't mind. I'd suggest pencil's good to get you started. If you want to then go and use some ink or colour afterwards, fine. But no, pencil's absolutely fine, and it means you can rub out.
Yeah.
Okay. What I've given you when I've given you the answers is my own marking sheet, and so the confusion seems to be about sizing of rafters. So in which particular exam are we on? 2017 or 2017? Okay. So in 2017 we were in a very high wind zone, right? And this this table is calculated for an extra high wind zone. So all these figures are for the worst case scenario. So if you have a lesser wind zone, you would find, for instance, that a 200 by 70 rafter at 480 spacing could go 1.1 times that distance. They could go further. So sort of just going back into the logic of it. So I apologise, I think probably my, the way that I've written the answer, because there's two ways of doing it, is wrong. So what you're doing is that you know that your span of the rafters is what? For last year? So we're looking at question 1F, size of rafters 600 metres over the living area. Okay. Yeah, okay. So if you all turn to the little diagram, the reason why that there's a couple of answers in here is because I realised there was two ways of reading this. What I had actually meant was the rafter span that was shown in the section. Okay, so the smaller one, where you've got a rafter span of 3.1. Okay? And you know that you are on the, I'll just get my handy pointer out. Okay, so we are on the span, sorry, the spacing was 600, so we're over here, and we know that the span is 3 metres. Okay? But what we know is that we can probably go further with the size here. So what I would be doing is, right, we know that for an extra high wind zone, you can go 2.5 with a 140 by 45. So one way of doing it is you can multiply that 2.5 by 1.1 and see what you get to. What do you get? Anyone done it? Calculators? 2.75, okay, so it's still not going to be okay. You know that's definitely going to be okay here, but what about, is there something else down here? What about this 140 by 70 that can go 2.9? How far can that span when you're actually in a very high wind zone? 3.19. Okay, so that would actually do it. You could do this with a 140 by 70. Okay, so I'm sorry, I haven't got my answers open. Can somebody give me my answers? Yeah, okay. 190 by 45. Okay, so the 190 by 45 is that you know that's going to work, because actually that can span 3.3 times 1.1, which would end up giving you 3.6 or something, more than that anyway. So that's the correct answer for how I meant it, for the span over that small bit, okay? The other answer, which was 240 by 70, this one here, is when you're then looking at the span, because the way that some people interpreted it was as if there was the rafters spanning across this room, and thinking that there was no beam. So they've added those things together and got a much larger span. Okay? So that's, what did you say? You got to 5.85 or something, is it? 5.95, something like that. So we are looking at, okay, so then when you're looking at these spans that are over 5 metres here, and you want to look at how far they could go if they were in the very high wind zone. So I'd be looking at First of all, looking at 5.1 times 1.1, and then looking at 5.9 times 1.1. Sorry, Ben?
I just don't understand why we would divide something when the table says for very high ones only multiply it by 1.1.
Yeah.
Because it's just quite confusing.
Yeah, it's because you can go and find your answer the other. Yeah, I think that's my mistake is I shouldn't have put it in the way that I was figuring it out, which is backwards.